The crimson sand of Caltha 7 drank deeply from Camilla's wounds. She lay broken among the twisted wreckage of her scout vessel. Her iridescent scales, once the pride of the Drakaya sovereignty, now dulled with ash and blood. The ambush had been perfect. The Valkyrie pirates had known exactly where to strike, exactly when her shields would be vulnerable during the atmospheric entry. Camilla's triple-lidded eyes flickered as she felt her twin hearts slowing their ancient rhythm. Around her neck, the honorarium crystal of her bloodline pulsed weakly, a fading beacon of a legacy that would die with her. 200 cycles of service to the sovereignty, 43 successful diplomatic missions, and now, bleeding out on a backwater world at the edge of known space, surrounded by enemies who had already stripped her ship of anything valuable. She closed her eyes, accepting the inevitable. The Drakari did not fear death, they embraced it when it came with honor. There was honor in dying for one's duty, even if no one would ever know her sacrifice. But then warmth. Not the cold fire of her fading life, but something else. Something impossibly gentle for this harsh world. Arms smaller than any Dracarys, yet steady lifted her broken body. The movement should have been agony, but somehow, the grip knew exactly where not to press, where her shattered ribs had punctured scale and flesh. Camilla's eyes snapped open. A human male knelt in the sand, cradling her 3-meter frame as though she weighed nothing. His face was weathered, marked with the thin scars that spoke of survival rather than ceremony. One of his eyes was cybernetic, glowing with a soft amber light. His clothes were combat-worn but clean, and across his back, she could see the edge of a weapon she didn't recognize. "Easy there, ma'am," the human said, his voice gravelly but calm. "I've got you. Name's Gavin. You're going to be all right." Camilla tried to speak, but only a weak hiss escaped her throat. Humans. She knew of them, the young species that had exploded onto the galactic stage, barely 2 centuries ago. Aggressive, unpredictable, emotionally volatile. The sovereignty's xenopsychology reports had warned about making agreements with them, and yet, this one's hands were impossibly careful as he examined her wounds. 3 exit wounds. Compound fracture in the lower thoracic section. Severe hemorrhaging, Gavin muttered, more to himself than to her. His cybernetic eye flickered, scanning. "You've got 2 hearts, good ones. Still strong. Respiratory system is ... complex. Okay, I can work with this." He set her down with such precision that she barely felt the sand beneath her. From a pack at his waist, he pulled out a medical kit that looked ancient by galactic standards, physical supplies rather than nanotech solutions. But his hands moved with absolute confidence. "This is going to hurt," he warned, meeting her eyes. There was something in his gaze, a recognition of pain, of injury, of survival. "But I promise you, I've done this before." The human worked with the efficiency of a combat medic, his movements born from muscle memory and experience. He applied a coagulant compound to her wounds that burned like stellar fire but stopped the bleeding within seconds. Compressed bandages followed, wrapped with expert precision around her alien physiology as if he'd studied Drakari anatomy his entire life. "Served with a Drakari unit during the Frontier Wars," Gavin explained, as if reading her unspoken question. "Lost my original eye saving my commanding officer, female Drakari, scales like midnight, temper like a supernova. She taught me your people are warriors, but you're also survivors. So that's what you're going to do, survive." Camilla's pain began to recede, replaced by the cool relief of the human's medical compounds entering her system. She watched, fascinated despite her condition, as this lone human worked tirelessly to save a life that wasn't his responsibility, wasn't even his species, the pirates. She managed to rasp. Gavin's expression darkened. "Gone, they left you for dead 20 minutes ago. I tracked them from the ridge, saw the whole ambush. Couldn't get here faster." He paused, something like regret crossing his features. "I'm sorry about that." He was apologizing to her for not arriving sooner to save a complete stranger. "What?" Camilla whispered. Gavin looked at her, genuinely confused. "Why what? Why save me? Your species, the reports say you're aggressive, violent, unpredictable." A bitter smile crossed his face. "Yeah, we can be all those things. We've made plenty of mistakes since we reached the stars." He finished securing the last bandage and sat back, his human eyes, both the organic and the cybernetic, fixing on her with an intensity that belied his species' short lifespan. "But we're also the idiots who can't walk past someone who needs help. It's our greatest weakness and our greatest strength." He reached into his pack again and pulled out a emergency beacon. Standard sovereignty issue, probably salvaged from her own wreckage. "I'm activating this. Your people will be here in 2, maybe 3 hours. Until then, I'll keep watch. You're staying." Camilla's voice was stronger now, her secondary heart beginning to compensate for the damaged primary. "Ma'am, I'm a veteran of 6 campaigns, 3 wars, and more skirmishes than I care to count. I didn't survive all that just to leave someone to die alone on a beach of red sand." He checked his weaponer, human design, primitive but effective, and settled into a guard position beside her. "Besides, those pirates might come back, and I really don't like pirates." As the twin sons of Caltha 7 began their descent, painting the sky in shades of amber and violet, Camila felt something she had not expected to feel again. Hope, not just for her survival, but for something larger. Perhaps the sovereignty's reports on humans were incomplete. They had documented the violence, the chaos, the unpredictability, but they had missed something fundamental, something that couldn't be quantified in xenopsychology assessments or diplomatic briefings. They had missed the core of what made humans dangerous, not their weapons or their aggression, but their absolute, irrational, beautiful refusal to let others suffer alone. "Thank you, Gavin," Camila said softly, her clawed hand reaching out to touch his shoulder, gesture of respect among her people. The human veteran simply nodded, his eyes scanning the horizon for threats, ever vigilant. "Thank me when we get you home, ma'am. Until then, we've got work to do." And in that moment, Camila understood why humanity, despite every disadvantage, despite being newcomers to a galaxy billions of years old, had earned their place among the stars. Because they were survivors, and they made everyone around them survivors too.